Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about
ancient knowledge heritage. And I promised at the beginning of this month's roundup that I have 3 Game of the Years. One of them is ancient knowledge. And I've been saying, ever since my preliminary top 10 of 2023 and my follow-up top 10 of 2023, that it's been driving me crazy that I've not been able to get my hands on ancient knowledge because I thought it might make it into my top 10. Because this is a very simple, fast-playing civilization card-building race game. Very important. This game can drag on if all players don't remember that, hey, you could go play very slow, very conservative game and try to minimize penalties that you would suffer. But if you do, and there's somebody else around the table who is okay taking some of those penalties to play very, very fast, that other player is going to win. So this is a race game where what we do on our turn is we play a card representing ancient knowledge to one of 6 different rows or columns. Each column can have up to 2 tiles. Like I got 2 here, and you pay whatever you got to pay to play it. These cards have different powers. They have a power when you play them, or as long as they stay on the table, or maybe when they move, or whatever. They all have different powers to do different things at different times. At the end of a round, what will happen is all of your cards are going to slide 1 step to the left. And as I mentioned earlier in this roundup, folks, I love conveyor belts. Can I just please get to a point where we do the conveyor belt? I love conveyor belts so much. And this is everybody's building their own little private conveyor belt, trying to stuff it up full of tiles or full of these cards. And as much as possible, in most cases, trying to get them going to the left as fast as they can. Because it's not until they slide off your board that they go into your what's called the past, that they become scoring cards. Here's the trick though. When you put a tile on the table though, you put these little knowledge tiles on them, these little knowledge chits, and when they slide off the board, if any of that knowledge is still on them when they go into the past, that knowledge becomes lost knowledge. It gets stored over here, and, I'm sorry, I'm not pointing at anything. Sorry, folks. Right, so when a card comes out, you get this knowledge. If that card with these 4 knowledge were to slide all the way off, and I haven't archived that knowledge in some way, it'll come over here and become lost knowledge, and it's points that I lose. And that's the central tension of the game. That I want these cards to slide off my board as fast as I can. Often their best powers are once they go in. And also, once you've got cards in the past, on future turns, you can tap those cards to let you draw more cards, because you can get to a point where you run out of cards very quickly. But tapping your past cards, looking into your past, is what gives you more ideas about the present, and that means you draw more cards. And so, the quicker you get those cards into the past, the better. But if you're pushing them fast, that means you're also potentially got a whole bunch of knowledge you're going to lose that's going to lose you points. And I'm just saying here, in case you ever play this game, do not fall into the trap of thinking, I have to be so careful and so precious and ensure that I never suffer lost knowledge, because I don't want to lose those points. That can make the game take a long time, and you're playing it wrong, because you should embrace that. There are a lot of special powers that let you clear lost knowledge out. Lost knowledge, which is negative points, can become a valuable resource for certain things. And so you'll find yourself, I wish I had some lost knowledge. I was too good, and I spent way too long making my conveyor belt go really slow when I should have been speeding things up. Anyway, though, here's the thing. This is now retroactively in my top 10 games of 2023. I think it's like my number 9 or my number 8 or something like that. But I have to add something. You'll notice, I'm not talking about ancient knowledge. I'm talking about ancient knowledge with the expansion Heritage, because I would not play this game without the Heritage expansion. The reason I never played Ancient Knowledge in the first place is because there are a dozen cards in the base game that are needlessly aggressive, nasty attack cards. Stealing stuff, destroying stuff, just doing really nasty things. Drowning people in lost knowledge, just horrible. Just completely ruins the game. It seems against the spirit. There's like 200 or like 100 plus cards, 12 of them. There's enough that these cards will come out and you'll feel that you need to use them, but they really ruin the game. And so that's why I kind of passed on the game originally, because I just knew I wasn't going to like it. And to be fair, I hate those cards. Here's the deal. The Heritage expansion introduces, I forget, something like 30 new cards. And so what you can do is, you can go, if you get Heritage, you can take the original Ancient Knowledge, find, I think it's 11 cards, remove those 11 cards. Half of them are blue cards. That's the thing. You couldn't just say, oh, I'll just take out all the attack cards, because then that would totally bust the balance of the overall game, because you'd be reducing the blue cards by a lot more. And there's a lot of cards that say, hey, you have to have an equal number of all types of cards in the past or stuff like that. And it would just really break the balance of the game to remove all the evil cards. So you have to use them. But now what you can do is you get the Heritage expansion, and officially what you're supposed to do is just take all the cards and throw them into the deck. I don't do that. Instead, I remove, the 7 blue cards and the 3 red cards, whatever they are. I remove those cards specifically, and then I take a random collection of cards from Heritage and replace the ones that have been removed. So we're basically playing with the same number of cards as the original game, but all the bad stuff has been taken out and been replaced with really cool new powers that are so much better than those really lousy cards that were in the original game. And then that is what turns this into one of the best games of 2023. And by the way, 2023 is currently my best game for board gaming ever. So this is one of the best 10 of the year, of the best year ever. And Ancient Knowledge is that good. If, one, you never forget it's a race and be willing to accept losses to speed things along so the game doesn't take too long. And two, you get the Heritage expansion to get rid of the garbage cards from the original game. That's what you got to do, and then it becomes one of the best Civilization games of all time. In my top 100 games of all time, in my top 10 of the best year ever, Ancient Knowledge with the Heritage expansion. So that is number 3 of the month. Highly recommended. And if you want to see me playing it, sorry, this is another one of those member-only behind the paywall videos that I do for my Patreon backers or my backers on YouTube. But there are other videos of it out there if you want to see the game in action. I believe Kimberly has covered it on Tabletop Tolson. She can check her videos out if you want to see it in action. It's so freaking good.
And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.